Hello, hello, everyone. We're gonna get started in just a minute here. There's a lot of people signed up for this call tonight, so I'm just gonna wait and see how many more people come. And we're going live too. We're on the Facebook page as well in the group. My mute all button isn't working. All good. Let's wait another minute here. I know there's like 20 some people signed up for this call, so I'm just gonna wait a minute here. Oh, some of you might be on the live on Facebook, I know. Can I get anyone in the chat to let me know if you can see my screen? If you can see hubby up on my screen here, this hottie. Thanks, Deborah. Okay, we're about to get started here. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be on the live. Perfect. Okay, so we'll just dive in here. Anyways, so tonight I'm bringing you a live version of our ultimate guide for MyFitnessPal. Now, I've been using MyFitnessPal for 7 or 8 years now, so I know all the tips and tricks out there. I pretty much mastered it, and I've never had to pay for it. There's only one reason I've ever seen the need to pay for MyFitnessPal, and that's if you do carb cycling. If you want to change your macros per day, that's the only reason I've ever seen to buy MyFitnessPal. So don't waste your money. You don't need it. I'm going to show you how to beat the system and do everything in there for free and set it all up. Now, all of you have this guide already inside of the Facebook group. But I'm going to go over this just in case anyone needs help setting it up or if they were confused by anything. That way, we're all on the same page, that we at least know exactly what we're doing in MyFitnessPal. Let's see. So, I have a note that I wanted to say. So tonight's going to be hands-on. I'm going to be showing you how to actually use this. So on the right side of my screen here, this is my cell phone. And I'm going to be actually showing you how to set everything up in MyFitnessPal. So it's going to be hands-on. But I know a lot of you use your cell phone. So you may like drop in and out with your video, and that's okay. So I'm not going to put as many things tonight to drop me some live fun words or anything tonight. I'm not going to do as many. I know it's a lot more fun when I do, but I'm not going to do as many because you'll probably be going back and forth on your phone, and I don't want to interrupt that. So let's dive in here. I got my guide up on my screen. I got my cell phone. Let's see where we can take this, okay? And I apologize, I have 2 screens because I got this huge guide up here for you. Okay. So today we're going to go through how to set up your MyFitnessPal, how to log single items, how to copy a meal, how to log recipes, meals, and yes, I'm teaching you how to log the alcohol tonight, everyone, how to copy a friend or a spouse's meal, how to create a recipe, how to create food like alcohol. We're going to show you directly how to create this inside of MyFitnessPal, and you can save your favorites, and how to view your macros and calories, and how to log water. We're going to go through it all. I didn't leave a single tip out of this guide, okay? So let's start at the top here. First of all, the first thing you're going to need, and I brought some goodies with me. I feel like I have a bag of tricks. First thing you need is everyone to have your food scale. I got this giant one. It's like $50, but it allows me to be able to weigh the entire crock pot on top for weight. I think you can do about 50 pounds. So I know the weight of my crock pot, so I can use that. Honestly, unless you're going to actually weigh your crock pot, there's no reason to ever get more than like the $15 one that you see. I see even $10 ones, perfectly fine. Just making sure that it has that tare feature, calculated to 0.5 of a gram. And I even have the links in here on the ones that I have used in the past and I currently have. Oh, this one says 30 pounds. That was 50. That's okay. Maybe it's 50 something kg. So if you haven't already, it's time to have MyFitnessPal downloaded on your cell. Now, you can use a desktop version. We do have a couple clients that do use a desktop version, but I am going to warn you, you will have a couple less features than everyone else. The biggest thing is they have not figured out their shit at all when it comes to recipes online. You can't log it properly. You can't get all the information on there. And unfortunately, they're just lacking there. And that's why, I mean, most of us use your cell phone anyways. It's just a couple of us do use the computer. I use the computer for a lot of things, but not MyFitnessPal. I always like to have it on the go with me because I'm constantly checking what I'm eating, what's left, and where can I add in those goodies, right? We all want to know, where am I at for the day with my macros so I can get those goodies in? So once you have MyFitnessPal downloaded, I'm going to assume that you probably all have it now, or you're going to watch along. And don't forget, you have this entire guide already inside our Facebook group for you. So we're going to go step by step through the whole guide here. Number one, download MyFitnessPal. I even put this in here so you can see which app to download here. Then you're going to open your app and you're going to set up your app. So from this side of my screen, yeah, it's working perfectly. We're going to go to goals, it shows. So you click goals. So this is where you're going to input all your information. So your height, weight, and everything here on the top. So all of these pounds here, right here, and my goal weight, and how much I want to lose per week, my activity level. Now you can go through and fill out if you haven't already. And if I am going like super speedy, can someone like put the words like speedy or make fun of me in some way for rocket fuel or fire, something funny? Because I'm gonna laugh. I start to speak really fast. So we got all of these up here under goals. Now, where we don't have to even fill out this fitness goals at all. It doesn't make any difference. If you fill these things out, it's just going to give you your own macros and calories to eat. And unfortunately, that's how I started my journey years back, was using MyFitnessPal's calories and macros. I didn't know what macros were, though, to be honest, back then. So as someone over 240 pounds, it had me eating, I forget it was 1,400 or 1,600 calories, like just for normal every day, not for anything specific. And I was starving myself, starvation mode, and I'm pretty certain it was 1,400, not 1,600, honestly, because I saw everyone else eating 1,200, and I wondered how come I was eating more than them. Yeah, there's a lot of signs here that I probably should have realized that I was doing things wrong 7, 8 years ago, but I figured it out, and that's why I'm here, to help you so you don't have to do as many of these things wrong, or at least stop you before you do the next one. Okay, so what do we got? Set up your calories macros. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click calories, carbs, proteins, and fat goals right here under nutrition goals. Okay, so I thought that when I gave you your macros, it automatically synced to your MyFitnessPal because I have it set up to go into MyFitnessPal. Now, I was talking with a client this morning, Erin, and she was telling me that when she went in there, it had different macros for her. So please double check that. I just want to know if it's like a glitch that she had, or if there's a couple people that it's not moving over. So please just double check that for me. So I'll put these to anything, okay? Let's go with, let's have a fun one. Let's do, oh, is it gonna let me type in here? Oh, it doesn't let me type, it lets me do everything else. I wonder if I can do it on my phone. I'm just gonna see if I can do this step on my phone. I'm just seeing currently if I change it on my phone, if it's gonna change on the computer. It's a little bit slow, so I just changed it. Okay. For some reason, while I'm doing this, I can actually update it there for you. Mine is different macros too. There you go, Jackie. So I'm really glad that you looked at that. I'm not sure why it's not automatically syncing. Although, to be fair, Trainerize has let me know that they are putting out their own version of a MyFitnessPal that's slowly rolling out. And I think it also has to do with the fact that they have a glitch right now on MyFitnessPal side, not their side. And the company's aware and trying to fix it, but I think it has a lot to do with them bringing it over. Okay, so I might not apparently be able to type into these. Oh, but I can move these still, okay? So I went into MyFitnessPal. This is my favorite way to give macros. So I could give you the exact percentages, but then you can go into MyFitnessPal and none of the percentages I'm going to give you are going to be an option for you. Absolutely none of them, because it goes exactly to the gram in the percentages. So what I do for every single person, I take the extra step to go into MyFitnessPal and get the exact macros you're going to log it as. That way there's no confusion, not even 1 gram difference. I don't mind a gram difference, but no confusion or anything. So that way it's exact in there, just a little extra work on my end. So it's way easier for you. So make sure you hit that little plus button as well. Okay, let's see right here. Set up calories, click calories. Yep. Make sure you save the correct numbers. Yep. Sometimes it takes a little while. It's true. So sometimes for some reason, when I go in here and I click on calories, so I click calories first and I update them and I hit save. For some reason, sometimes in the app, it does take a little bit of time to actually change. So I'll be going around playing with the macros and I'll be like, oh, I have way more carbs to eat this week than I realized. That's really exciting, and realize it didn't save my calories. So I got a little excited over nothing. So make sure you double check that the right calories are in there after you save it. Okay, so let's see. We got all those saved. Left side, we're going to click goals and we're going to go to steps. Okay. I need to go find my phone. Oh, I saw you come back with it, Deborah. Awesome. Love the hands on tonight. And David, I see you plugging away too. Love it. Okay, so left side, we're going to click on goals. Then we're going to click steps. Unless I click goals, then click steps. On my cell phone, I have it screenshotted. On here, I don't see steps. Does anyone else? Steps is further down from goals. Also, it's a separate one on this. There might be a second spot there. That's cool. Or they might have actually done a update since. When did I make this? I think I made this a couple weeks ago, a month ago. So it might be done. Oh yeah, they had a separate step spot. That's fine. There's another location. Okay, so we're gonna go in here. So you're gonna make sure that your screen looks identical to this. We do not track our steps. So this is what happens if you track your steps or if you track your activity inside of MyFitnessPal. And oh, it might, Jess. It might, yeah, because it's going to go over and connect. That is potential. Never thought of that. I use one email for mine. If you want to let me know if you see any issues with it coming over, I might even be able to double check with you if you want to message me after, and I'll see if it's syncing on my end. So we don't track our steps or our exercise. And this is one that I have found people do not like to actually follow this rule because they like to eat more. So what happens if you, oh, no problem, Jess, let me know. If you need any help, I got you. So some people, basically they want to eat back their calories, how it works. So if you set it up so your activity goes inside of MyFitnessPal, your steps or your actual workout, it's going to then tell you you burned X amount of calories, which is a lie, by the way. It's not going to be the right calories, but it's going to tell you how many. And then it's going to show you, now you have all this extra. Oh, we dropped her. So you have all of this extra food that you think you can eat. What happens when you get your macros is this has already been calculated for you based on your movement that you're about to do and based on your workout and past history, okay? So all of this is needed to get those macros. So what happens if you eat those calories back, you're no longer going to be in a deficit and wondering why not losing weight. So I have a lot of cardio friends that make sure every single exercise gets logged into MyFitnessPal. Then they eat almost all of it and complain that they're not losing weight. It's hard to talk to them because they just don't want to change their mind about it, and that's okay. They have their beliefs and it's currently not working for them, but they want to keep on going with it. I'm here. If they want help, I can give them that free advice, no problem. As long as your screen looks the same. Now we're going to double check that your diary setting is set up properly. Now, there's a secret other spot I found inside Trainerize too that I put in another doc. So on the left side here, we're going to go down to settings. Oh, I'm covering my mic. Down to settings, and now we're going to diary sharing. Oh, it was diary sharing. See, it has updated a little bit. So inside here, we're going to go to diary sharing public, which is exactly how mine is set up. So you go here, you're going to change it from private, or maybe it was already public, and go to public. Now this secret location, I don't have it on mine, so I can't actually pull it up. I'd have to actually dig around to see if anyone is having this issue. But let's say for some reason your MyFitnessPal is not connecting right now. I found a secret spot inside of Trainerize. If you go in and click on the 4 dots at the very top of your app there for your food, it's going to bring up your macro breakdown. If you swipe over on the right screen, it then will either have a list of all the food you ate, or there's going to be a blue toggle button to share your diary. That one I was missing when I said that myself, so I found that one. So as long as you basically have this as public, then I am able to take, Trainerize will take your information from MyFitnessPal, pull it in Trainerize so I can view it. And it's also going to come in handy for a couple of the other steps I'm going to show you down here as well. And you can all add each other if you want on MyFitnessPal as well. Get some friends going in there, whatever you want. That can also help you in there. I want to know what you're having like a little dance party over there, Deborah. I kind of want in on the fun a little bit. So let's see what's next. Now I'm going to show you how to log single items. And I have a box of goodies over here. I think I'm going to pull some out here. Okay, so on the very bottom, you're going to click on diary. So let me go back here to the home. When I pull it up, this is what it typically looks like. So if I go in to diary, and then step 2 says click add food. So you can move these around after you add them if you want. So they don't have to go into the right category. But let's say I'll go down here so it's not ruining any of my meals I've actually eaten yet today. So I clicked add food. So now we have a couple different options here. Option number 1, we can scan the barcode. Most of these have barcodes on them. We can scan them inside the app. So that's option number 1. You're going to click on the barcode up here on the right, and then you're just going to scan it. So make sure that you're logging this properly. This is a big step right here. So for this one, when I scanned it, it came up as cooked rice. That is incorrect. Everything is going to be weighed raw. The only things that aren't weighed raw is if on the actual package itself tells you different. So if on the back of this bag that I scanned for this, and this is the exact same one as the photo, in this bag, if it said per quarter cup, 45 grams cooked, then that's how I would log it, or I would find a different one to log. But we're always going to log raw. Perfect. Exactly. So option number 2 is to use the search feature. So we're going to use the word USDA when we're looking things up, unless it has a brand name. So one that I really like here, I believe I used it. Yeah, ground beef. So USDA is the perfect one. Yeah, it doesn't want me to type into my phone. I'm really sorry. So USDA raw lean ground beef is one. Or in this case, because it came up as cooked, but we need it raw, USDA raw basmati rice. So number 7, click the proper USDA raw item. Sometimes they'll have a check mark there, but just check if it seems accurate to you, especially if you have the actual information on the back of your bag. Number 8, enter the proper serving size. The serving size is almost always going to be grams. I use grams for everything. There's only a couple times I'll use ounces, or I'll use pounds for recipes of ground beef. Or when I buy my ground beef in bulk, I put all of them into 1 pound packages, flatten them out and put them in the freezer. Thaws easy and easy meals. I eat a lot of beef because it's really simple. Then you're gonna enter the weight and number of servings. Okay, so how to copy a meal. So it's probably not even gonna let me do it because I might have to type. I'm gonna try. So from your diary, let's go back here. We are in diary. We're going to click copy meal. So same way we were doing all the other ones, add a food. Nope, it really was copy a meal. On the 3 dots, there we go. If I can follow my instructions. So you're gonna copy a meal. Now, if you have never used MyFitnessPal before, you probably won't have anything to copy from if you already have something saved. But this meal right here. So for example, for lunch today, I took a picture, I haven't even posted it yet. I had honey garlic crock pot chicken over some rice. And it is a tiny bit less rice than I usually do, but only by a couple grams. It all depends on the serving, on how filling everything is. But if I take that and I want to copy it, I click those 3 dots, copy meal. Now, unfortunately, it only has a couple options of how far you can actually go ahead and copy it to date. So the options are 2 days from now, tomorrow, today, yesterday, and 2 days ago. Any further and you can't. Now, let's be honest. Most of you are probably never going to plan that far ahead. I'm a planner, and one thing I like to do is every Saturday, I actually plan my entire week's meals for the week after. So that means on this Saturday, on my birthday, I actually skipped it because I was not doing groceries on my birthday. But on Saturday, what I normally would have done was I would double check all my food for this week that I'm going to have it in my house. So I use this as my actual grocery checklist, and I add it into my cart, and I make sure I have my list for Costco too that I go to every week. And when I get that list there, I'm checking this week and completely filling out for next week. Yes, I'm going to change my meals around. It happens all the time. But by protein heavy hitters, I usually leave those meals. So sometimes you can't go that far out, and that's okay. You might have to save a meal instead of hit copy. And I'm about to show you exactly how to do that. So choose when you want to copy the same meal to. So if the option is not available, so like I said, far out, let's say, you're gonna use the steps for MyFitnessPal, how to save a meal. Then you're gonna use MyFitnessPal, how to log recipes, meals, and alcohol. Don't forget, we're gonna be teaching that tonight. So how to log recipes, meals, and alcohol. That's what we're about to dive into. So from diary again, you're gonna click add food. I'm gonna go down here again so I don't interrupt anything. Add food. Option number 1, click recipe, but you can only do this if you've saved one. And I'm going to go into recipes because I got lots. Okay. So I have so many because I've been using this for years. Some of them are much better than others, these recipes. So you can add a recipe this way. You're going to click on it. You're going to say how many servings that you want. So we already did the servings inside the actual recipe. So we already know what the servings are. So you can go that way. The second option that you can do is you can click on meals if you saved one. Now, I don't typically save many meals. So this feature is, I actually only use this for alcohol, this feature. But if you want to make your own whole meal, you can do this. But to me, that's a recipe. Okay, so meals. I do have some in here apparently. Well, I do save some meals. I guess it's my foods. My foods I usually use for alcohol. For meals, I will save a lot of them, and I'll have a lot of different variations. So I do wish I was a little bit more organized, and I would call them something a little bit better. So like if I'm looking for something for breakfast, usually I'll type in the word egg, and it'll tell me all my meals that have the word egg in it. And I like to name my meals not by necessarily the meal itself, but the items in it. And it just helps me a lot easier be able to quickly plan my meals. So option number 1, click my foods if you saved one. And over here, from my example, I got some beer. Hubby loves drinking Sleeman Clear 2.0. Not his favorite, but it is really low calorie and it is great for a diet. So next, we're going to show you how to copy a friend or spouse's meal. So let's go copy someone's meal here. Let's see. I'm gonna go to my friends. Inactive, inactive, today. Let's see. Anything today? So I'm gonna go into here. I found my friend. I'm gonna diary tab. I'm gonna click this button right here. And it only works if they have it set up properly. Perfect. So they did. They went through and they added one. So I can actually copy this whole meal if I want. Now I do this a lot with, because in our household, there's 2 of us that we both track our food. So we just are able to copy it over and then change your numbers. For you, maybe it's people in your house. Maybe you're looking just for some ideas for your meals, or maybe you're all adding each other in here, taking some meals from each other, or maybe even getting together for some meals, okay? So that's the other benefit. If you know people that are logging, if you have your things logged in here, they can also use that if they come over, for example, or something. Totally don't have to, but that option is there for you. So if the option is not available to use MyFitness for these steps here, you're gonna use how to save a meal, then use the steps, how to log recipes, meals, and alcohol. Now we're going to actually go in and create a recipe. Again, it's not letting me type for some reason, but we can try. So for example, you do copy meal, you pick what day, it's going to automatically just bring it over. So for some reason, I always click on today when I'm meaning to do tomorrow or vice versa. So be careful because you have to go and delete and then go add back. Okay, so how to create a recipe. This one is probably the one that stumps most people, okay? So we will go through this a little bit slower. We're only going to use a couple items for our actual example, but you know recipes, they could be 1 item, they could be 40, they could be, I know Jackie, you're asking about the herbs and spices. So a really good one is to add those in so I remember what ones I have to put in. But because they're next to no calories, we don't log our spices. I do have like certain spices in the fridge that I log. So my garlic, my ginger, I have a cilantro paste, those kinds I do log. But still, seriously, it's like under 20 calories. Okay, so where are we? From home, click the 3 dot lines on top of each other at the top left, then click recipes, meals, and foods. From home, click the 3 lines at the top. Oh, lines, there we go. See, I'm not reading again. 3 lines, then we're gonna click recipes. We're gonna do this recipes. I think I'm also gonna drop a video for you that I made about a recipe that's really universal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you can make it in bulk. I think I'm gonna drop that because it's really simple and it's a hit in our house and it's really good for getting your protein. I know next week everyone's gonna be looking for more examples for that protein. So here we are in recipes, meals, and food. But what we actually need, I knew it was going to enter. It's so hard using this for my cell phone. Create a recipe at the bottom here. Now there are 2 options and let me explain them. The top one only semi works. I really wish their app was a little bit better for this. You can add it from the web. So for a while there, I was actually on a Pinterest kick and I could add the recipes right from Pinterest into MyFitnessPal. Like mind blown. That was the biggest time saver for me. I thought like this sounds promising. I can go right from the source, right in and just make little adjustments. Well, when you add them all in, it does not seem to be able to populate properly. I would say don't even bother trying this step. Countless hours. It's not where it should be. It's not even subpar. So we're always going to do enter ingredients manually. If you can get it one recipe randomly to work, screenshot that shit. Like that's impressive. I want to see that. So enter your, and again, it's not gonna let me type anything. Oh, this is so sad. Okay. So we're gonna enter our ingredients. Good thing I took these screenshots. Okay, so number 4, you're gonna name your recipe something you'll remember and saving it for now. You can always change these, okay? So those salted mushrooms, I actually meant to type sauteed, and that's what it was, and I screenshotted it and left it. So you can literally name this whatever makes it easiest for you to find. A lot of my crock pot dishes I know are chicken on purpose for my lunches to get that protein. So a lot of them I'll say crock pot, blah, 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 chicken. And then I'm able to search the word crock pot or chicken, and I can find a lot of my recipes fast. So then the next step after you name it, you're gonna choose how many portions you want this to be. For now, we're gonna say 1 or 2 because we haven't yet used our scale. So we don't know how many. So now you're gonna click that blue button there, click add ingredients. Number 6, you're gonna use the same option for either barcode, search, or USDA raw from MyFitnessPal, how to log single items. So in this one here, raw cremini mushrooms. So you're gonna find what you think is the best option, okay? Now this right here, yes, the recipe is going to save you so much time, and you can do things in bulk, which is also a time saver. Love it. So choosing the best option for your item. Now, sometimes there are going to be those green check marks that I mentioned right here, but this is a cup hole. We don't measure in cups. We measure with a scale. So that check mark doesn't mean anything to us. So for me, I would probably use this top one, 100 grams raw. When you click on it, it's either going to have it also in grams, or you just have to move the decimal point for 100 grams. The second one here probably would also be fine. I would definitely not do this one. I would rather not do generic, definitely not whole cup, sliced gram. That's a maybe, but because it's a 0 there, I'm not sure. So I would honestly go with that top one because we were looking for that USDA. But remember, a lot of these scan. Even my mushrooms I buy, a lot of them will scan. So you're going to make sure that it looks like your package, like I mentioned earlier with our rice. This logs when you scan it as cooked weight. The back says raw weight. Doesn't match. So you have to make sure it matches. So we're going to choose the serving size. And as I mentioned, usually always grams. And then you're going to use how many servings. So how many grams, basically, okay? So for cremini mushrooms, most of my recipes are about, how much is a little thing of it? About 230 to 350 grams, probably mushrooms I put in most recipes. So that is the number of the amount of grams that you're going to enter there for the amount of servings. So you're going to double check it, and then you're going to click the check mark there. You can always edit these, so no harm. And now you're going to add your next item. In our example, it's going to be a brand name, so that way you can try the search feature. So Naturel salted butter. That's the butter that I typically buy. I don't care about brands for butter, but I do always buy salted. I don't even bake with an unsalted butter. I always bake with salted. So I was able to type in Naturel salted butter. And because I also know the amount of calories for Naturel, I also knew that this one was proper. But it has the exact words we're looking for. And it's by grams, and it matches our packaging. So you're gonna make sure it looks like your package or that it has the correct information while searching, then change those numbers to match. How many grams are you gonna use? 5, 10, 15, 7.5 even, whatever it lands on, whatever you want it to be. So when all of your items are now added inside of your recipe, you're gonna click next. You can also click next early, like if after your first 1 or 2 if you want, because I know personally that this has crashed on my app more than once, but not very often. So you can't, sometimes I do save it early, just on the in case there. And now it's time to choose how many servings you need here. So we chose 2 for example, but let's say you're going to eat half of the amount cooked originally. So we're gonna have to calculate how much that actually is. So option number 1, when the recipe is complete on your scale, you're not gonna be able to see this, but I have a tare function right down here. And when it's showing 0.0 grams, you're gonna place your full pot or pan right on top. These right here, you just place it right on top after it's tared there. Then you know how much that weighs. And now you know your total weight as well. So on a calculator, now you're gonna subtract from the new total weight, the weight of your pot or pan, which equals your new serving size to enter. So basically what I mean is I like to, and I might say this in the guide here, I personally have a photo in my phone of all the weights of all my pots and pans, so it's really fast access for me. That way, that's why things meal prep so fast for me. I do meal prep in under an hour every single week for 2 people. Like, it doesn't have to be as complicated as we make it. Like my meals, a lot of my meals are rice, beef, and a veggie, and maybe some butter. Simple. So what's going to happen? One of the options is you're going to take your tare. You use a tare function. Then you're going to take your full pot or pan, set it down, and weigh it. But because I have that weight beforehand, you can also write the physical weight on your pan if you want, or you can just write it down the day of. You can weigh it right before if you want. The problem is if we forget to weigh the pan beforehand, now we have to go weigh a new pan and then dump all of this into that pan. More dishes, not what we want. I know I hate dishes. I don't know about you. So even though I have a dishwasher, I still hate dishes. So that's how we're going to get our number. So we have to take the total weight now of our pan and food and subtract the total weight of just the pan. This gives us our total weight for the food, and that is our number of servings. Make sure you save as well. So step 17, you now have 3 areas to complete. What date do you want this meal? And you don't actually have to use it. You can just put it in the system. Which meal? You want it breakfast, lunch, dinner. You can also change these names. If you want to change the names of these, go for it. You can do all that as well. And the number of servings. So the number of servings is what we just figured out there about when you redo the subtraction with the pan. So for the date, might be today, maybe you're pre-planning ahead like I do. For the meal, depending on what yours is called, you might have this side dish for lunch or dinner. And for number of servings, that is how many grams of total weight servings from the page before will you eat. So a tip, if you knew you wanted to get 2 servings out of this, you're going to take the total numbers of servings that you just previously did and divide that number of grams by 2 and take that many grams on each plate. Or take a bit more or a little bit less, just use the grams you weighed onto your plate. You're going to confirm it's all correct. And there you go. You now have a full recipe that you have forever. You now also have it logged. I have a quick question. Sure. Oh, I missed another one. One sec there, Jackie. I just did that. Changed the names and added morning snack time. Nice. Teacher schedule, morning snack and late lunch. Hey, that's okay. When I'm having my higher calories, I'll have breakfast and second breakfast, maybe dessert, second dessert. I get it. You need to be able to rename these and have some fun with it too, right? It's not just about logging. You gotta have fun with it. Enjoy the process. I love it. I also love how you said it as a teacher schedule, like all the teachers here, you know what I mean, right? Okay. And then, Jackie, quick question. You said we weigh foods raw. Does it change from cooking from frozen? Good answer. Question. So things like, let's say, frozen chicken strips. It'll probably be in the frozen grams. So you're just going to use it there. Now, one thing that does change a little bit, but it's barely going to make a difference for you is, so for, I was going to say my example, my lunch today, but it doesn't really matter when. I defrosted my lunch. So I actually froze that honey garlic chicken and rice, froze it, defrosted it, and ate it. Now, the weight is going to be different than when I put it in that bowl, but I wrote out all of my numbers on there beforehand. So if it's an item that is normally frozen, it's going to be as frozen unless it could be slightly off a little bit. But we have to keep in mind, everything that we're doing and we're logging is going to be slightly off, but the more we make from scratch ourselves, the more accurate we are. Same thing with when you eat out, they are allowed, unfortunately, up to 30% incorrect calories in both directions. So that makes things very difficult. I have done very well with eating out on macros, very well. But we have to just keep this in mind, especially for places that like to like douse their food in oil. That's the big hitters there. And if you go to like a burrito place even, you start to notice some places do more meat than others as well. So a little variance from human to human, basically. Jackie, let me know if that didn't answer your question. Just let me know, okay? So another example of our larger recipe. So this is just a two-parter because it's long there, where you will weigh the end product for your serving size. So another example of a larger recipe here for 1 pot chicken and rice. This is one of my lunches that I'm actually currently eating. Oh, perfect. Glad. Thank you, Jackie. So these are all of the ingredients, excluding the spices I use in this 1 pot chicken and rice dish. And do you see here how it says view directions on Pinterest.com? This is one of the recipes that originally came from my Pinterest. Doesn't mean it actually ever worked properly. So this is what it looks like in there. And this is another one, but with way less in there. So for my example above right here with the Dijon mustard chicken breast, it will be eaten entirely. So I don't need to weigh the recipe when it's complete because it's only going to be 1 serving in total. I put my entire chicken breast right here in. I put my spices in, a garlic mayo. You can't see it, but it's 15 grams of French's Dijon mustard in there. Excuse me. So because I know I'm going to eat that whole thing, I only, if you were to go to this right here, 1 serving. But there honestly is some nights that I can't finish all my food. And there's going to be meals that you just can't or you don't. Or maybe your kids steal from your plate, like Tanya. Her kids always steal her smoothies for sure. So one thing you can do is if you don't know if you're going to finish the entire recipe there, you're going to weigh it so that you can subtract what is left over. So basically what would happen in this exact example, actually maybe I'll say it in my example here. If the end product weighed 225 grams and you log this as 225 for number of servings, then you had only 20 grams left on your plate after your entire meal. You couldn't eat it. After you weighed it, of course, you would now change your serving to 205. This is how you're going to do the math to subtract. Now, if you want to just leave it on there, it's inaccurate and you're probably going to be showing a lot more proteins and fats than you actually are eating than carbs. But I would recommend, if you aren't going to actually eat it, to hold yourself accountable and weigh the amount. Or if you're skilled enough, you've been doing this a while, you could guess also at how much is there. But even to this day, I still go weigh. Same with my, if I'm eating meat with bones in it, I go and weigh my bones. So here's a fun one. Who's ready to learn how to create alcohol? Who wants to lose weight and drink the booze, okay? I'm not saying every night. I'm not saying an entire bottle on every serving, but we can still drink. We can still have fun. We can still eat the comfort foods. In the chat there, if you're not too busy on MyFitnessPal, who's excited to learn how to actually enjoy and log the alcohol as well? Oh, cider. I'm not a big apple cider, but I really like blackberry currant cider. Yes, I want to drink occasionally too. Yes. Yes. See, this is the fun one. This is where things get interesting because we actually get to show you. And this is not a step that is really easy to find, let me tell you. My drinks may vary. Sure. I'm not even a drinker. And I'm still promoting this. I don't enjoy the taste of booze. I don't see the problem in drinking it. I'll still drink it every once in a while if I find something that I think tastes good. Okay. So now that you're all excited to learn about how to log and drink the booze, from your home screen, let's go back here. You're going to click on the 3 lines. Hey, I'm listening to myself this time. 3 lines at the top. Then you're going to go and click recipes, meals, and foods. On the right, you're going to click foods and then create a food right down here. So as you can see, I don't use this. I don't drink. I have this one up here for my example. Okay. Step number 3, you're going to enter the brand name of the alcohol that you're about to drink. Add the description to be found easier. So for example, I knew this was just beer. So for me, this way I could always search the word beer and I could find it. So then you're going to add how many milliliters the can says. So you're going to enter the measurement that the can says and how many servings you will be drinking. So if you finish the beer in one sitting, then 1 serving is great. But if you don't typically finish a whole beer, then use a tip from MyFitnessPal how to create a recipe for the amount of servings that you're going to be having. And enter the total calories. So I got a tip for you too. There are 4 ways to find the total calories here. Option 1, you're going to read the calories on the label for the total can. Option number 2, you're going to scan the can. It may tell you the proper calories, but it does not calculate the macros, okay? So even though you can scan some of them, it is not going to calculate the macros. What's going to happen is it's going to show you that your calories all of a sudden dropped. Let's use that 80 calorie example there, that your calories dropped 80, but your macros are now all messed up. And now you have that 80 and it's not even equating within your macros. So you're overeating that way. So option number 3, Google how many calories are in that item. And option number 4, if you're unable to find this brand, it's probably like a craft beer or something. Find one similar and just be okay that you might be off in calories or macros in these cases. Step number 5, use a calculator to take the total calories. In my case was 80. And you're going to divide it by 4. You're always going to divide it by the number 4. 4 for alcohol, 4 for carbs. So every carb is 4 calories per gram. So your total carb for this drink is going to be 20. You take the total calories right here, 80, always divide by 4 for your carb, equals 20 grams of carbs for your day. Number 6, enter your total grams of carbs under total carbohydrates and click next. Then you're going to choose no thanks. All you need to do here are total carbs. Absolutely nothing else on there matters. So it's really simple also to add in the booze here. It's just basically in a separate section. And you can use this creative food for many other items. I've just only felt the necessary need for this for booze. So how to actually view your macros and calories. This one is especially important for our clients that at the end of the day, they go in and just type in their numbers to let us know how they're doing. And it's just 2 steps here. So you don't have to log these numbers anywhere. I can see your numbers, but this is how you can actually see what numbers you are hitting. You can also look inside your Trainerized app as well. Okay, so if you scroll all the way to the bottom from your diary, all the way, keep going. Here, see this button right here, nutrition. You will never need to use these other 2 tabs, okay? Calories and macros. I have never used these for even a day. It is unnecessary completely. Stick to the basics. Nutrients only. So you'll only ever focus on your protein, carbs, fiber, and fat. There is no other category here that we are going to monitor. The only other one that we would be monitoring is sugars if you were diabetic, and we would be looking into that. So now you can see where you need to hit more of your macros when you're able to see over here. So I still have some to go. I still have protein left. I still have carbs. I went over my fats, which is okay. Remember, these are my minimum fats I have to hit. So let's see, where was I? You need to hit macros. So use the tip to see how much you have left to eat. So for example, if you use the tip and you have a total of 346 calories left to eat, but you went over in protein and fat, you're going to divide that by the calories per gram of the macro you're looking to hit. Carbs for more accuracy. I can explain that. I know there's a lot of big words. So you're looking to see how many total calories are left in your day. For your tip, it's not the amount in your diary that says remaining. From this screen, you can now calculate from your left column. So this total is how many I've actually eaten today. Goal is where I should be at those macros that I entered. And what's left is over here. But the amount of calories that it actually says, if I hit back here, I bet, but if we went through and did the math, it would be different than 387 left over. I've had it up to 300 calories difference. Can you imagine how upset I was? So think about yourself, thinking you're logging everything properly. because you're doing everything. You can see that you're hitting your stuff. You know that you hit your protein. You know you hit your minimums. You know that you hit your calories, to later find out for the entire week, every single day, you've been eating 300 calories more because it wasn't logging properly. That always hits me. I get really upset by that. That's only happened once or twice, but that is why we calculate our macros to get our total calories. So here's an example. So for protein, it's going to be the same as carbs, 4 calories per gram. Fats are 9. So that's why you don't have nearly as many fats for your minimum fats for the day, because so much, it's more than double calories. So for our example, let's say you have protein left, and well, actually you don't, but under protein left, it says negative 34. You take 4, so it's going to be that 4 because it's protein. 4 times negative 34 is you're over by 136 calories. But we're going to do this for all. Carbs left is 154. So 4 times 154 is 616 calories left over in your day. So for fats, negative 19. So 9, because down here, fats are 9, more than double calories, times negative 14 is 138 calories that you went over. So today in total, you're going to take, we got 616 calories left over from carbs. Subtract your 136 that you went over in protein, subtract your 134 from fats that was left over. You are now left with 346, which is actually kind of close to my random example today, but you're left over 346 for that day. Yet in step 1, it shows you 467 calories remaining. This is why calculating macros is so important over calories, because I know it doesn't sound like a lot. That can actually be an entire meal for some of us, that many calories. Okay. So this is why it's so crucial to be as accurate as we can, because we want to eat more food, right? And all of you, all your macros, we need to be bringing those up. Those are at the minimums that you should be at. We need to be higher than that. Okay. So it's very important. Accuracy. And I believe this is the last one on here, how to add water. Now, let's see if I go back to my home screen is usually where I add it. Well, there's a little plus right here. You can add all these. I've never updated my status. I don't think anyone else reads anyone else's status. Go for it if you want. You got food, water, exercise, and weight. Remember, we're never adding exercise. So for here, water. You can set up the metrics and everything different. I'm in milliliters. So when you click on that water there, every time you finish your bottle or cup, like I'm hoping a lot of you have that water bottle next to you that you don't have to get up to go get it. So next time you finish that water bottle, that's when you're going to go add your water. And that's it. That is every single tip, trick, everything in 7 or 8 years that I have learned, used. I've never used a single other menu, nothing. Back to the basics. We got to keep it simple. I hate the old saying of keep it simple, stupid. I always like to say, keep it super simple. Much nicer to say. So that is the entire guide, start to finish. You've now set up all of your stats. You've now double checked your macros, because apparently they're not coming over from training their eyes. I apologize. I think that does have to do with their syncing issue right now. And now you know how to do a recipe. You know how to log your booze. You know how to create meals. You know how to do all of these. And you know about your scale, the tare feature, grams, not cups. So here's a good example. How about this orange? Anyone have any idea how you would log this orange? Does anyone want to take a little guess at it in the comments? This will be the last thing. And then I have one quick announcement for you. Any thoughts on this raw orange here? That's the only tip I'm going to give you. Raw orange. Kind of wish I could juggle right now. Just saying. Depends on size. Yes, completely. The way we log isn't going to change, but the weight will. Search for an orange and then add a medium orange. Maybe wait first. See, Deborah, you're thinking about it. You're getting close now. So you could totally weigh it in a bowl for sure. This is how I like to do it. You can do it however you'd like. We're going to take that scale. We're going to tear it. Now, I prefer to weigh it with the peel on. Get my total weight. When I finish peeling it, I then keep it in a container or something, and I weigh it when I come home, if I'm out, for example. Or you can take it off beforehand and weigh it just plain raw. So we don't say medium apple or medium sweet potato. A sweet potato is one of the best examples for this. A sweet potato, if you go with small, medium, or large, can actually be off by like over 500 calories. This is why we weigh our food. So the best way is, yes, you weigh the peel. So I subtract it. However, if you're about to right now eat that orange, peel it and just weigh it raw. You don't even need to weigh the peel. So that's how, when I used to work inside an office, yeah, because you can eat more food if you start weighing and more confidence. Yes. So if we were to just log a medium orange, the calories would be anywhere between, I don't know, accurate and like 120 extra calories. If we weigh it, we know exactly how many calories. This is why it's so crucial. So that's all I got tonight for my ultimate guide for MyFitnessPal. However, I got one more announcement for you. Who's excited? Who wants me to talk about more prizes? Anyone like some more free shit? That's what I got for you. If you want some free shit, someone let me know here. Yes, Deborah wants free shit. Jackie wants free shit. Prizes, I like free shit. Yes, Jess, you, more free shit for you then. That's it. David, yes, David, you love free shit. Of course, everyone likes free stuff, especially when it's useful. So tonight I'm going to announce our mini challenge. Yesterday, I let you know what our weekly challenge was going to be. And I'll let you know again, the weekly challenge this week is to hit your calories. No macros, calories only. And as we mentioned in last night's kickoff call, hitting your calories does not mean 400 over, 300 below. It means getting very close to your calories. And remember, we just talked about how off you could be if you're not actually weighing and doing by cups and such. So that's our weekly challenge. And I'm going to check in on everyone on Friday and see how everyone's doing with that. But every single Tuesday at all of our lives, we're going to be doing two things. What did I say last night? We're going to be giving out free shit, and we're going to be announcing how to get more free shit. That's what I like. So tonight I'm going to announce what our weekly mini challenge is. And then on Thursday, I'm going to check in to see how you're doing with it. Next Tuesday, I'm going to announce the winner. So you better be here to find out if you won, because you're putting in that hard work, and I'm going to give you some more free shit. So weekly mini challenge. And don't worry, I'm going to post this as well. The weekly mini challenge is between now and Thursday. It's the end of the night. So Wednesday and Thursday, each day, you're going to eat fruit minimum once per day. That is the entire mini challenge. Wednesday and Thursday, I want to see a photo of you eating fruit minimum once. That is how easy this is going to be to win stuff. Small habits, huge life impact, okay? That's all we're asking for this mini challenge. Eat one fruit minimum per day, Wednesday and Thursday. Take those photos. I'm going to be asking if you ate those fruit. So let's see. I mean, I even got my fruit here. And I couldn't say that I didn't. Yeah, Jackie. So I can't wait to see what fruit you choose. Maybe you're choosing what's in season. Maybe it was cheaper. Maybe it's your favorite fruit. So I'm going to post that as well. Make sure everyone knows what the mini challenge is. But this was exciting. Everyone's now set up with MyFitnessPal, or you can watch the replay anytime. And we're live on Facebook, of course, as well. So this is amazing. You got your mini challenge going on now. You got your weekly challenge going on. I don't know. The more you post in the group, the more you interact. I think I might also put another prize out this week. If anyone wants more prizes, I think that's going to be in your cards. So tomorrow night, who's coming to our live training session with Coach Lucas? Coach Lucas is coming here, taking time out of his day. He works 3 jobs. He is never home. He is swamped. But this guy is a hard worker, okay? He knows where to put the time in. He's coming with us tomorrow night live, 6 p.m. EST. We're going to talk about mindset. You got to get that mindset. Remember, 80% of all this is the mindset. No longer to leave those results on the table. So who am I going to see? Who's coming to the live session tomorrow night? I want to see the word Wednesday, Lucas, excited. I just want to see the excitement here, people. I will. Lucas, hey, you even spelled it right. Thanks, Jackie. We'll be there. Woohoo. Wednesday. I am so excited for this. Lucas hasn't done a live here. I am so thrilled that he is going to do this for us. So tonight, I'm going to go ahead and eat some food, go to bed, and everyone enjoy your night. Maybe you're going to have your workout tonight. Maybe you had it in the morning. I'm going to wake up tomorrow to see what heat you're bringing tonight. And tomorrow, we're also going to see you on the live. So everyone have a great night, and we'll chat real soon.